now we come to the food part, which I don't like to talk every time because I can't get these here in this country. And yes, so on the left part, it is a picture that we took from Muslim Square in Xi'an city in Shanxi province. And the right part is from Qinghai's province, Xining city. And both of these parts are Qingzhen Square, Qingzhen Lane, meaning the Muslim quarter. On the left picture, it is very popular place all over China. People go there to enjoy the Muslim food, and you don't need to ask if the food there is halal or not. You went there, you immediately can experience the phenomena of this area, because you can see the difference between the outside this area as soon as you enter this area. And when you exit this area, you can notice a difference as well. And also, these quarters were well reserved from Song dynasty. Some buildings were still from Song dynasty. And the right part of the slide is less popular than the left part, but also is the same phenomenon. That's the word Qingzhen, meaning halal. And
does it mean it? Okay, so the term Qingzhen is often used synonymously with the word halal or Islamic or Muslim, and it's a kind of metonymic stand-in for anything related to halalness, Muslimness, or Islamicness. It doesn't really mean any of those things directly. I don't know if you've seen the animation 30,000 Miles from Chang'an. It's a new Chinese animation. It's a really good, nice little film. So it's about the Tang Dynasty poet Li Bai. And Li Bai was one of the first people, if not the first, to use the term Qingzhen in one of his poems. And at some point along the way, Muslims thought that that would be a nice word to describe them or their religion. It's difficult to really trace that meaning, but there's a poem that was allegedly written by the first Ming emperor. There's a historical debate about whether he wrote it or not, but there's a poem. And he uses the term Qingzhen there to talk about Muslims as followers of Qingzhenjiao, which means pure and true teachings. Mosque is called 𝗘𝗃𝗃. I believe the ancient synagogue in Henan province might also be called 𝗃𝗃𝗃 as well, but I'm not sure. Perhaps experts can clarify. In any case, Qingzhen is a semiotic device to pay attention to. Qingzhen, I call it Qingzhen ethics in the book. The Tangping also relates to Qingzhen ethics because it's used for cleanliness, okay? Pure and true, pure and clean. And it's semiotically transposed into a Kung Fu style, and it's become a visual stand-in for Muslimness, and also, so the term Qingzhen is what's used in some places, in many places. It's one to pay attention to. So here, there you go. Let's look at some shop signs now. So you see some of the translingual. Trans means to move across. So in linguistics we use the term translingual or translanguaging to talk about how that movement is done, because let's face it, most of us when we're left alone, we don't respect the boundaries of language. We use emojis and we use multiple scripts and we drop in all sorts of different things, and people in a sort of everyday sense are translingual, and there's a whole literature on that in linguistics if you're interested. So here you see, let's start with the title of the shop, 𝗵 which sounds like it's not even a group of Chinese words at all. Actually, it equates to one singular word, Mubarak, in Perso-Arabic, which means blessed. A global Islamic word which originates from Arabic and popular throughout Asia, but depicted in the sign through regular Chinese characters. So here we can see translingual aspects and repertoire-based messaging. So repertoire-based messaging means you use everything in your repertoire to communicate to people, to index something far beyond China, far beyond Muslim Street or the Muslim Quarter, and into a deeper and wider sociolinguistics of Islam. How do I know? Because I knew exactly what it meant when I saw it. But in several linguistics lectures I gave in China, in Chinese universities, my mostly Han Chinese students did not know what it meant. They just said it's the local Hui community's dialect. And of course it is the dialect, but how do you define dialect anyway? It's a wider sort of sociolinguistics of Islam that is at play here, and a very sort of important indexical connection to sacredness, blessed, to be blessed. By whom? By God, of course. It is emblematic. On the one hand, the official language is deployed through recognizable, legal Chinese characters, but also bearing connections with another rather distant language of religious heritage, the Perso-Arabic term Mubarak. It's not motivated by linguistic meaning, because the Mubarak could amount to being meaningless to anyone who doesn't understand it. Instead, it is laden with heritage sentiments. About a year or so before fieldwork, a year or two, Arabic signage was removed, but you can see its ghostly presence. Can you see its ghostly presence on the left-hand side? I'll get back to the ghostly Arabic shortly. But the restaurant on the right is actually a new restaurant. We went to a lot of restaurants. I actually put on a lot of weight in this project, by the way. The restaurant on the right is a new restaurant, and that sign, Islamic, China and halal, Islamic food, etc., is on every wall, interior and exterior, on every table, on every menu, and on every cutlery holder, lest you are in any doubt about the halalness of the cutlery. The point I'm making is that Muslimness and halalness are there, even if Arabic isn't in many places, with respect to food, because food is one of the places where it can flourish. So let's look further at the trope of Qingzhou, or some of the signage. So here you have in Hangzhou, now we're going to the far east. So we've gone from northwest to the northeast to the far east. Hangzhou, you have, look at the ghostly Arabic. The Arabic for Islamic restaurant, Al-Mat'am Al-Islami, is still visible. It has been removed, and Northwestern people has been used in its place. Arabic is discernible, but now stands as a remnant of a prior text juxtaposed with new category equivalents that were used in the revised sign. So the category equivalents here being that Islam becomes Northwestern people. I will come back to that as well. I have so many of the ghostly Arabic, I could literally go with for an hour, just go through them all. So here you see public spaces are like palimpsests, with writing rubbed out and done again. Heritage literacy itself is contingent on the repeated rubbing out and adapting, repeated rubbing out and adapting again and again. That is one of the theoretical sort of takeaways from this research.